Hey everyone, how we all doing? Okay, so before we get started, everything I say in this video is my opinion, mine alone. Please feel free to do your own research and come to your own conclusions. Okay, so where do we start in this? EKC People Sack went on Real Life Entertainment News' channel 3 days ago. I watched this today, and it was kind of interesting. But I have my own thoughts on questions that were asked by Real. I don't need to go over the Katie Joy stuff, so I have skipped that part. And it was kind of interesting, but I want to start out by saying some things. As a teen, 13, 12, 13-year-old, I was living in the K system, children's homes. And there was staff who worked there. Now you would have a morning staff, an evening shift, and a night shift. And generally they were in charge of all the children. Now there were certain staff who liked to get a little handsy, a bit more than a little handsy. That could go on forever. And there were people who told other people it was happening, but they wasn't believed. Now fast forward 20 years. I see these places in the news. I see there are investigations going on, and thankfully some people did get justice and some didn't. Some didn't even have the chance to get justice and never will. But hey, life moves on. So when I'm in a chat, and it's one of the few chats I feel comfortable in, and a guy comes in and he says, I don't believe this girl. Fair enough, that's your opinion. Then he goes on to explain why he doesn't believe this girl. Because he's too rich, because she went to his room, and because there are probably women cluing up around the block for this guy. Now, I am going to be going into this subject a little during the questions, so I'm not really going to go over that bit now. So, that is where my background takes me. Now, I don't attack people and hunt people down and go after people and try to hurt them as using my past as an excuse. It would not be an excuse. My reactions came from his actions. And really likes to say that he only does what he's reacting to. Well, really, you're not the only one. People on numerous occasions asked you to stop saying the things you were saying about Jake Paul. There were numerous people who said to you, please, just stop this. But you kept going, and then you went back to your channel and you blew up again. So let's get into the questions that you asked EKC.
Moving on from Katie, I came into this community, I guess I would say February, right? February 2001, maybe January. I think it was more than February. And we can all admit, most people's first interaction of me, Real Entertainment News Lefty, wasn't the most pleasant. Wasn't the most pleasant, right?
Yeah, I think you can justify saying that's true. My first interactions with you were the worst possible, to be honest.
Right?
I think so, yeah.
Well, with that being said,
But on the other hand, I don't find that a laughing matter. Apparently some do.
I have tried my best to right my wrongs, fix what I have done.
When? Because all you've done to me is attack me. You went after my looks. And you've attacked me in other ways too. Oh, before we go any further, there was something I wanted to add at the beginning. Now, after the incident in Charlotte's life, and I spoke about it, and I think I'd made a video at that point, Real had made a live where he was summoning some of us ladies. And I was one of them. Now, first off, I didn't get no notification. Not one. And for that, I was pretty much called a liar. Secondly, would I have gone to his chat anyway? I don't know. Maybe I would have to get my point across. But I don't think he would listen. And I still don't to this day.
To some people, other people, I don't give a F about. Ever, right?
Okay.
But all right. There's been a narrative that has been spun. And this narrative is that, number one, I don't listen, right? And I'm not. No, not that I'm not.
I disagree with that. Okay. No, I hear you, but I disagree with that.
I agree 110%. When Charlotte asked you to stop talking the way you were because you were triggering people, you refused. And you insisted on continuing.
Okay. You can still see me here, right?
Yes, I can. I'm sorry. I'm messing around with my camera. I moved all my stuff back in there. I moved my office again, so I'm still playing with the particulars.
Okay, no, because my screen went out. That's why I was asking.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I can still hear you.
So with that being said, there's a lady by the name of Words Have Eyes. Words have power.
Words have power. It's not hard to say.
You may know her, you may not know her. She is a follower of Charlotte on the web. We all know that I don't like Charlotte on the web. That's Charlotte on the web. I'm saying that.
Charlotte has been nothing but cordial towards you She's had more patience than a lot of people have had with you. All she wanted you to do was stop saying the words you were saying.
Right here, right now. Aaron has nothing to do with what comes out of my mouth. I have nothing to do with what comes out of Aaron's mouth. But from my perspective, fuck Charlotte. Period. Moving on. Now we're clear on that. This lady has said, along with a lot of other people, that I did not apologize for what I supposedly said in Charlotte's chat. Now, I don't know if you know what happened or whatever the case may be. But
Yeah,
the reason I'm bringing this up,
recent time.
yeah, this is recent. But the reason
I have never once heard you apologise. Not once.
I'm bringing that up
Okay.
is because I apologize. I said, I'm sorry if you took it that way. And then I said, I'm sorry. I'm not going to say I'm sorry anymore. But a lot of the women, particularly from the Caucasian community, like to tell me you didn't apologize. So I want you to kind of help me understand what gives them the right to tell.
Answer me this, please. Ren. What does the colour of my skin have to do with anything? Why is that something that is always on the cards, the colour of everyone's skin? Because in my mind, I feel like you have an issue with the colour of my skin. But why? I'll leave that one with you.
Tell me what's an apology and what's not an apology if I'm telling you that I apologize.
Well, here's the thing. An apology, I think, it to some degree is subjective. So, what you may consider an apology, I may not, or vice versa. Okay, so I think it's important to take that into consideration. Usually, though, when you put it in terms like, I think of myself. Okay, middle-aged, middle-class white woman. For me, if I'm going to say this, usually I either mean one of two things. Either I don't care, I'm not ready to forgive you, or two, I don't think you've apologized enough. It's usually one of the two. I can't speak for them. I don't know how they mean it. I'm just saying it. That's how I think I would mean it. That being said, I do know that I believe I know the chat in which you're referring, and I did read your comments that you said in the chat. And I'll be honest.
An apology that is followed by, I'm sorry but, I'm sorry if, I'm sorry that. Excuse me. Is not a real apology. That is called gaslighting. Not apologising.
They were kind of messed up. However, and I will say this.
They were kind of messed up. Him saying if the girl hadn't gone to his room, she wouldn't have been had that done to her.
Is when it comes to men, and this has nothing to do. This is all men. A lot of men have a hard time understanding exactly what certain actions mean and how things can be wrong.
What? A lot of men don't understand things and how they can be wrong.
And we can't expect them to learn it on their own, okay? Because it's them learning shit on their own that got them to that place to begin with, okay? So we have to be willing to take the time and educate them, you know?
What? Now you're treating men like they're little boys who need everything explaining to them. Patronizing. Very.
And that's just the way it is. I'm sorry, but so even though I don't agree with anything you said there in that chat, obviously, and I even take issue with it, I don't. I'm not gonna write you off or any shit like that.
You take issue with it, but you're not going to write him off about it. But did you go to the live stream that he did after Charlotte's? That's my question to you right now.
I would like to discuss it with you more than anything. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. This lady also called me a RAPE apologist. Some call me a RAPIST. I think I want to sue them.
Yeah. The second one is the second one is uncalled for, because just because you don't understand how a certain act or event can happen, how it can play out, or just because you don't understand the enormity of it, doesn't mean that you are one. You know what I mean? It doesn't make you guilty of the same crime or whatever just because you don't understand it. It's whatever.
Okay, so you're not a RAPIST, but the apologist, yes, 100%. When you're saying things like, but she went to his room, that he's too rich to do that, she's too ugly, and these are things you've actually said, Ren. She is not attractive enough for him to do that to her. He is too rich to even need to do that to her. None of that counts. None of that makes a blind bit of difference.
The apologist, it depends. I mean, I think that remains to be seen. Like, if and when you do take a moment and listen, and someone explains things to you, if you then choose to ignore everything that a potential victim, like a woman, someone who understands a lot of it, has said to you, if you choose to ignore that and still make excuses and everything, then yeah, then I think the apologist term could apply. But I don't think that we're at that.
Does apply. I do think we're there. When repeatedly people are asking you to stop talking like that because people were getting triggered, I had to leave the chat because of the things that you were saying. I was a mess. My husband sat with me and just held me all night.
Point, yeah. I mean, I think that's entirely up to you.
With that being said, what is a RAPE apologist? For those of the people that don't know, because in my community, we don't know what that word is. We don't use that word. So
right, okay.
I'm very offended by that word, to the point where I wanted to fight that lady up. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's basically, and it's usually a guy, so I'm gonna just go ahead and call it what it is. I'm gonna say it's a guy who right off the bat, at any point in time, will blame the cause of said event, the R event, will put the blame on the woman. As like, what was she wearing? Was she drinking? Was she?
Is she attractive enough? Is she rich enough? Is he too rich to do that to a woman? She went to his room. These are all examples of apologist.
Flirting. Was she, I don't know, playing hard to get, whatever. You.
She was kissing him. And these are reasons I would tell a woman not to be alone with you. because you've made it more than clear that once a girl is kissing you, once a girl is maybe holding your hand, cuddling, then in your mind she's accepting sex. And that isn't always the actual truth. Sometimes it's just that kissing, holding hands, cuddling. Sometimes she's not preparing to get into your bed.
Put an excuse in there, it doesn't matter. And will then try and excuse the perpetrator's actions away. Like, they may say that the dude was, I don't know, like, the dude was also drunk, or the dude bought dinner. They had sex before, so why?
The dude didn't need to RAPE her because he's rich and famous.
Why couldn't he do it again? You know, whatever. You put an excuse in there. Anyone who doesn't call it what it is and tries to excuse anything away as if it's the victim's fault and not the perpetrator, that's an apologist.
Okay, so now that we have the definition of the word out of the way, thank you for that. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Would a defense attorney be considered a RAPE apologist if they're representing a person that's being charged with that?
No.
Why wouldn't they?
No, because, well, here's the thing. An attorney is bound by laws and ethics. An attorney, especially a defense attorney, whether it doesn't matter what they think of their client. They can think that their client is the biggest scumbag in the face of the earth. They can think that their client's guilty, okay? But they have an ethical duty to defend that person to the best of their abilities. And they have to do it. They have to do it. So the defense in which they give on behalf of their client, it doesn't make them an apologist. They're doing their job. They're doing their duty that they're legally bound to uphold. So that's not the same thing. I mean, guys or whatever, like just at the bar or whatever, just talking, conversation, whatever.
I have absolutely no idea where this is supposed to be going. I'm just listening to this going, what? What?
When they're making excuses and everything, they're not doing it because it's their duty or their job. They're doing it because they actually believe these things.
And the reason why I'm asking these questions is because, hey, I don't know. And you ladies in the chat, or whoever in the chat can be calling me stupid or ignorant. If I don't know, I'm an axe.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, that's awesome.
So, with that said, moving on. Can you still see me?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Yep.
Okay.
I can still see you.
The women in this community have a lot of problems with it. I have been trying my best to move forward, move on, whatever the case may be, and it seems to be very, very hard to do. Max, and you as a woman in this community, as somebody as I look at as, I guess, a neutral party, I respect you. I believe you respect me. You got to respect me.
Yes.
Right? Shout out to Tina, without a freaking clue. Awesome content creator. She needs to get back on YouTube. Just let her know I said that, right? What do you think is the problem? And why do you think some of these women can't get past the BS?
I think it's a combination of things. Like, and this is just my opinion. I think part of it might be like a mob mentality sort of thing. But honestly, as a woman, like I know like what I've gone through in my life, and the average woman is probably had a very similar life. So, and then there's the non-average women who had a much harder life. See, there is a difference growing up female in this country, no doubt. And I think that that's kind of just wires our brain to, I don't know, just to be kind of catty. I hate to use the word catty because I feel like it's a sexist word and I'm here talking about sexism. But it's kind of it, though, I think. It's very hard to take each other seriously when no one outside of us takes us seriously. That's what it feels like, I think. So when
when you're talking about things and you're saying that she should never have gone into his room, I never invited the person into my room. Ever. Or persons, I should say. I was a child. The things you said made me feel like I was back there again. I felt physically sick by the excuses that he was making for Jake Paul. Now, I don't know the truth. I wasn't there. And there has been evidence to say that she was lying. But again, I'm not going to come out and state that until I have actual facts. I suspect she could be lying. But I'm not saying that outright because I don't know. And I say no more than that because nobody believed me or any of the other young girls who were there. And you were loud, abrupt, obnoxious, with your opinion was the only opinion. The only opinion that mattered was your opinion. And you didn't care how your opinion was affecting people, real people who have been in the situation that you're talking about. Maybe a little consideration with when you're saying these things to the people that you're saying them to.
used to feeling like that, we're used to maybe seeing ourselves like that and each other like that, and that will kind of dictate our behavior maybe. I don't think that that's like all of it, don't get me wrong, but I do think that that's like a foundational reason anyways. Other than that, I think mob mentality might have something to do with it too, because I think content creators or moderators for the chats and everything too, they do hold some sort of influence and everything, and some sort of power, I guess. And if they're not explicitly clear and like very adamant about a certain tone or whatever that they would like to set for their channel or for their chat, then I think that the crowd just kind of takes it upon themselves to set it whatever way they want. And usually it's I don't know, it's your loudest, more angriest ones that lead the way usually. That might have something to do with it. I mean, again, this is my opinion, and this isn't every channel, don't get me wrong. It's just like I see it here and there, and you see it anywhere, not just YouTube, anywhere in social media and in real life even. So
You're right. And before I ask my next question, if anybody would like to support the channel Real Entertainment News, there's a link in the description for anybody that would like to donate. All donations go to me building a better setup, better camera. The last money that I got donated to me, I went and got a YouTube consultation from Storm Monroe. That has been
awesome.
after that consultation. So it was very, very well money spent. I always like to tell my subscribers and supporters where the money that they are sending to me are going, and that's where the money goes. So, with that being said, so let's talk a little bit about your channel, kind of what you got going on. Because we have 25, we're at 25 minutes.
Right.
I'm going to take the next 5 minutes to promote you, and then at the 30-minute mark, I want to open up for Q&A.
Okay, no, that sounds good. Just I have to step away for 1 second. I'm sorry. I can hear my dog. She wants water, so I can hear her when she gets down to the bottom of the bowl. I hear her collar hitting it and everything. It's like ding, ding, ding. So let me just go grab that for her quick. I'll be right back in 1 minute, 1 second, whatever.
Last question I'm gonna ask you before we get into the Q&A is the whole middle-aged white woman thing has really hit a nerve with the Caucasian community, within the Katie Joy community. And I guess that's because the majority of the community is from the Caucasian descent.
They're middle-aged white women for the most part. Dude, my analytics tell me this, so don't.
Let's take a few moments to calm the mind and relax the body.
Don't worry about it.
So, why do you think so many of these women that by definition are middle-aged white women, like I'm a middle-aged black woman, black man, sorry, middle-aged black man, why do they get so offended by that term? Like, what is racist about that term?
Well, I hear that, and if the only, I mean, I'm not offended by it. Don't get me wrong, but if I were to be offended, I think my biggest thing, or my only thing, really, would be the middle age part. But and I still would think that would be the most upsetting for I think most people. The white part, I don't see what.
I'm not offended by being called a white woman. In general, I am that. I don't see why every time Ren talks about women, he has to keep plugging the colour of their skin. As if to say, because you're a white woman, I have every right to disrespect you. Because you're a white woman, makes you a certain way. Now, it frustrates me when you have to say every time Caucasian women, white women. The colour of our skin shouldn't make no difference to who we are. Now, the middle-aged white women, if my husband said that to me, he'd probably have a black eye today. And you would know why. Women in general don't want people calling them sort of old. Don't need their age shoved in their face every given opportunity. So yes, I find that offensive. And what I would like to understand is why every time you talk about certain people, you have to emphasize on the middle-aged white women, middle-aged Caucasian women. like the color of our skin, is offensive towards you. And I have heard you a number of times now saying, well, your family's probably owned slaves. No. My family never, ever owned slaves. My family came from Africa to the UK. This was around the time the railways were being built. They came from Runaway Bay in Africa to the UK. And I can assure you that if anything, they were the slaves. And you popped that insult quite a few people. And the people that you're accusing of that probably wasn't even alive during the big slave time. During the time of slavery. During the time slavery was most common. So you can't hold someone accountable for something their great-grandfather or their great-grandmother did. When you're addressing a woman as a middle-aged white woman or a middle-aged Caucasian woman, that is automatically going to be taken as offensive. Now, if I came onto your channel and I said, where is this middle-aged black man? Hang on, wait a minute, I should refresh that. Where is this middle-aged angry black man? Because 99% of what I've seen from you has been angry and aggressive. You would find that offensive. Am I right? Or would you be okay with being called a middle-aged, angry black man? Now, I know that T-Spiracy tries to ask you this question in a few minutes, but you reword it yourself and say just a middle-aged black man. You completely ignored the angry bit, or aggressive, whichever one she used. But you completely cut that out of what she said. And then went on to say you would be okay with being called a middle-aged black man because that's where you are. So we only have a few minutes left on here.
Like, it's an issue. I mean, like, you're white, dude. Like, get over it. I don't get it. but yeah, I have seen this, and I've seen like the whole reverse racism accusation.
Let me just make sure that I made this perfectly clear. It is the middle-aged part that women find offensive. Some common courtesy and a little decency to not rub a woman's age in her face would be highly appreciated.
Or whatever, and I just want to say stop with that, please, okay? Now, it's true. Anyone from any race can be discriminatory towards other races. They cannot like other races. but white people in the U.S., we are not going to be victims of racism with the current like societal climate where it's at right now. That's just not going to happen. I mean, it may be 200 years in the future or something. Yeah, sure, but right now, no. So I really wish white people would stop claiming to be victims of racism. That's all. I don't know. I don't get it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we're going to go into the Q&A. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to try to do here, is I'm going to drop the link, right? For anybody that wants to come on and ask one question via video. Also, you can ask the questions in the chat. Just put a Q, a uppercase Q before your question so that we know that it's a question. Because the chat's going pretty crazy and I'm not usually used to all these people on my chat. So, with that being said, put a Q before your question, uppercase Q, and if you want to come on and ask a question live, you can click the link. It's in the description. Is there any way I can ping the link? Aaron?
I have a question for you. Why do you have to... How do I word this properly? Why do you have an obsession with the colour of people's skin? Why do you feel it necessary in almost every conversation, whilst talking about a white person, you have to call them white Caucasian women? Because this is not normal. It is not a normal way to speak about people. Just a question.
Is there any way I can ping it to the top? Aaron? You mute yourself.
I had it on mute. Sorry, I was drinking soda and I didn't want everyone to hear it, so I put it on mute. Maybe, yeah, if you go to the comment that you put the link in it, if you go to the right, you should see like 3 dots appear when you hover the little hand over it.
Okay, yeah, when I click on it,
How many years have you been doing YouTube? And you've learned what? How to live stream.
says put user in timeout, lock user.
Oh, okay, then I don't know. I was gonna say maybe.
Are you clicking on somebody else's comment? Because that's what that sounds like.
There's something there to pin. Well, maybe up top at the bar up top where it says live chat, and you have 3 bars to the right there. I don't know. I never pinned a comment in live chat before, so I don't know. I know in the comment section it's the 3 dots thing.
Okay. Well, like I said, if you want to ask a question, you're going to have to find the link.
You must be trying to put someone else's chat on the pin, because that's kind of the only reason I can see that it would have for saying that you could block the user. Weird.
I'll put it in there periodically. But you guys can ask any one of us questions, and we will answer them. Please put a Q before your question. All right? Are we clear on that? Chat. So,
Oh yeah, Illuminacy. I'm totally down for that too. I saw the glare ask for it up above.
hello?
Who called the? What's up? Hey guys.
How are we?
Good. Can you hear me good? Oh, okay. I'm looking at the screen like, who's here? Hey, what's up? What's up? What's going on? Can you guys hear me good? Just checking. I can hear you. Okay. So I have a question for real quick here. So real.
my question to you is, when people upset you, do you go for the jugular? Like, do you try to think of, like, the most offensive things you can say? Like, do you mean the things you say? Like, or do you just try to upset the people? Like, I'm really curious about that. I am.
Well, I'm a rapper by nature. So when you rap and you're in a battle, you know, you're trying to demolish the competition. So if we're going back and forth with verbal jousting, right? To me, there's kind of nothing off limits outside of family, kids that you can say about somebody. You know, some people you just don't like, so you're gonna say whatever you want to say about them. You know,
Okay.
outside of my beefs with people, I try to be respectful to everybody. You know.
Okay.
Until today, I've never ever seen you speak to someone respectfully.
That answer your question?
Well, yeah, kinda. I mean, like, for example, like, you know, I always say I want to see you do good.
Yeah, kinda normally means no.
And that you apologize to people, and I believe you at the time you didn't really mean an apology, like when you said sorry to me and stuff, and we had a good talk, and you know, and then like I saw a screenshot of you in the Words Have Power stream, like talking about baby batter, and you just nasty stuff, dude, nasty stuff.
Let me say this, and I think this is a problem that a lot of people have. I reacted. If anybody knows me, they know that I react to something. So nobody's seen, well, they probably failed to acknowledge some of the things that she said to me. F you, sorry, MF, calling me a RAPE apologist, calling me a RAPIST. That's uncalled for. She has no clue.
Well, the apologist is evidence of it. You yourself said that she wasn't attractive enough to be RAPED. You yourself said that he was too rich to do such thing. And it was you who said that by going to his room she should have expected sex. Just because she went to his room. So yes, in every way that is possible, you are that apologist. When you say that he probably got women lining up around the block waiting for him, you was then an apologist. Let that sink in.
So at that point, the gloves is off. You invite me to your live, you leave me in the chat, you won't let me come on, you won't talk, and then you're disrespecting me on live camera. So I feel it's my right to disrespect back. And I will say, with all due respect, Conspiracy, fuck that lady. Fuck that lady.
Okay, you're entitled to your opinion, man. I mean, you absolutely are. Absolutely. Go ahead.
What I want to ask you is, what I want to ask you, Conspiracy, really quickly, is, I'm not saying what I said was right, but does that make what she said about me right? See, two wrongs don't make a right, but do we ever acknowledge that there was something done to make me react? When have you seen me just blatantly go and say to a chick, I won't let you drink my buttermilk?
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. But if Conspiracy and
That mouth is disgusting. Your buttermilk.
are you asking just like why someone who usually or whatever says like horrible things on stream or something like that? I mean, is that what you're saying that you have the issue with, or?
No, it's not really an issue. It's more like a question. Like I'll notice, like for example, people will say, "I'm offended by the way that real, made excuses for the RAPE stuff, right?" And then he triggered a bunch of people, I guess, in Charlotte's chat one day where he had people that were victims like really upset, and I don't understand the whole thing entirely, but it's almost like he just sometimes he says the nastiest things he can say, and I just want to tell you, real like your food reviews, all your other stuff is like so good. Like I hate seeing you go around and get upset and all this other stuff, but at the same time, I know people keep like giving you a hard time. It's just like one of those things, man, where I'm just wondering, like, if someone upsets you if you just go for the jugular in general, like even in real life, like instead of trying to talk it out.
Well, I don't think I'm not talking about what happened.
Well, I don't think any of us really always try to talk it out. I mean, I know I don't. We probably should.
And then you can ask Julie.
I mean, you don't. I mean,
sorry.
No, but I also don't run around and say offensive stuff to people and tell them to suck my baby batter and and I know real's better than that. So like saying those things,
I don't know about baby, but I did.
Real. Like I feel like you need to not do those things. I want to see you do good. Like I don't know, man. Like so many people are offended by you lately. It's just crazy. Like I don't understand, man. I just want to see you do good. You say sorry and then you do the same thing, and then that's where the problem lies.
Well,
I want to say I saw a video of you on YouTube, like yelling at a girl, like some girl or whatever, calling her all kinds of horrible things. I don't know when it was. I mean, it could have been like a year old or something. I don't know. I don't think it was. I think it was before you started your channel here. But I mean, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not holding that against you. Believe me, it's some of the shit that I put on social media in the past. Oh my God, I'm so glad that I was able. A lot of it's been erased. But I mean, I get it. I do. I just like even with in this situation with Real, I mean, I have to stop and remind myself a lot of times when I'm arguing with someone or whatever that I have to stop and take stock in myself. And I think that like Real's right about this, that a lot of the people who have an issue with him, they're not stopping to take stock in themselves. And I have seen him do it. That I'm not saying that he's all good or whatever by any means. I mean,
I understand. Like for example, last night when those screenshots were sent to me, Real, the person was like, "Oh, he said this to Words Have Power and that to Words Have Power," and I said, "Well, one thing I do know is she put the name in the title, and I mean, we already know how Real reacts to certain things, so like, why are we surprised that this happened? But then it goes back to the whole policy thing. Like, it's just like the same thing over and over. And I don't know, man. I hate to see them take the side with you because I feel like you're so nice and genuine, and then the next day you just aren't. Like,
So, as far as her, like I said, fuck her. Fuck her. Fuck her.
All right, you're entitled to it.
Well, I guess my biggest question to y'all is, do these women that I go after, do they get the same treatment when they talk about me? Because before I went to that live chat for the first time, I had went through her profile and she had 8 videos about me. 8. I don't know the link from the spray page. She said I called her a lot.
She had 8? I didn't even know that she had 8. I had no idea she had 8. Wow.
So I feel like a lot of times people come to me saying, why you do this and why you do that, but they don't never look at what the person done to me. Like, is it okay for this lady to just say what she wants to say about me, and then when I disrespect her, I'm the bad guy? No, there are 2 bad people in this situation. I'm just...
Right, so I'm going to wrap that up there. I do want to say a few things before I end this video. First off, I want to reiterate that the stuff that you said in Charlotte's feed and the stuff that you was repeatedly asked to stop saying sent me into a major panic attack, feeling like I was right back there once again when nobody was believing me. And you don't see the damage you're doing. You don't see the harm that you are causing to people. And I don't even think you care. Now, I will hold my hands up. I have said some harsh words. And that has been out of me reacting to what you have said. The attacks that you've made. The words that you have spoken. And this is such a difficult thing to say. But the words you speak do damage. They can bring up someone's post-traumatic stress disorder. And I was affected by that. Every once in a blue moon, someone will say or do something. And it doesn't happen all the time. Thank God it doesn't happen all of the time. But I have been through trauma. I have struggled with pain and post-traumatic stress. And there are so many things I could tell you about what my life was. And I want to address again the video that you summoned me to. I did not get that notification. And up until a certain time of night, I am not on the internet. I may look from time to time, but I have 2 children that need caring for. And that is what I do until my children go to bed. Then and only then will I sit online making videos, commenting to people, talking to people. But my children come before YouTube. Always. And the fact that I didn't at any point get the notification that you were doing that video, and then you go on to make a post with my face and a screenshot that you took insulting my looks. And you wonder why people won't accept an apology. I didn't get one though. I ain't seen nothing of an apology from you. I've not seen you apologize to anyone. And even with a sarcastic apology, like I'm sorry that, I'm sorry but, I'm sorry if, they are not apologies. They are sarcasm. And the fact that you don't know how to use YouTube, you don't know how to tag a post, you don't know how to block or unblock. You're new to YouTube. I didn't think 11 years on YouTube would class you as new. And at the end of this video, any screenshots that I have or anything like that I want to put on, I'm going to put on as evidence to show the things that I have actually said here are correct. But I don't need anyone rehashing my past, attacking the way I look. Friday morning I went to the dentist to try and get my teeth fixed. My teeth corroded through medical conditions, one being acid reflux that the doctors did not diagnose for an extremely long time. But the acid that I was bringing up on daily occasions was corroding my teeth away. I asked them how much would it cost to get implants. Upwards of £15,000. I was devastated. But life has to go on. My entire life was one battle after another until I met my husband, my amazing husband, who has stood by me and supported me for the last 14 years. And as much as I've moved on from that past, there are times where people will say something or do something that will trigger me. And I will break down. It will break me. But the majority of the time, I can just move past it. But when people are saying to you to please stop, please leave it there, please don't say this anymore, and you keep going and going and going with no consideration for anyone but yourself, that is when things get said out of anger and hurt. And with that, I'm going to close this down. As I said, any screenshots, any things that I feel are important will be at the end. Thank you. Have a great day, great night, wherever you are in the world. And please like, share and subscribe. I would truly appreciate it. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye. Okay, so let's address this one, shall we? Real is claiming someone has been doxed in Charlotte's chat. I can assure you this, nobody was doxed in that chat. This was an ongoing conversation about another woman that we as a community are very concerned about because she is abusing drugs. She is nodding out on her table. People are wondering what we can do to help this woman so she doesn't end up doing serious harm to herself by using and falling asleep. Please explain to me why any woman would want to actually come and speak to you, considering the way you've spoken to those. I see no reason to be sitting you down like a small child and explaining to you why these things are wrong. And again, with the tagging of people who probably want to avoid conversation with you. Please, what is it with you and the colour of people's skin? You seem to have this obsession about the colour of people's skin. and it's absurd. It's absolutely insane. And yeah, there's this little delightful thing that you decided to do with me. Classy. As you can see by this shot, Real has been doing videos on YouTube now for 11 years. He started out doing videos on why people fail in networking. He was part of the MLM community. From that, he went on to talking about celebrities, rap music, doing some rap music. He hasn't got a bad voice, to be fair. I'll give him that one. Fair is fair. If I see something good, I will point it out. He done a lot on commentary about the rap community, music, celebrities. And was a fan of the convicted murderer Jodi Arias or something. I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I might have butchered that, but there we go. But yes, he was a big supporter of this young lady who was convicted of murder, and I believe is in prison until 2024. So another 3 years. Kareem made quite the name for himself while supporting Jodi Arias. I really can't pronounce her name. There was a rap song. He has been in books about her. He had a conversation with her over the phone. And this was around 5 years ago. But from what I can see, he was a big supporter then. So, up until 4 months ago, Kareem hadn't made many videos on YouTubers, apart from some in the selling world of eBay. But then 4 months ago, he found Katie Joy. We all have our own personal experiences there. He decided to jump on her bandwagon and go after the anti-KJ community. And from there, we're right here, with everyone kicking off here, there and everywhere. So it seems I've kept the last little diamond as the best for last. Let's just go there and get this video over and done with. Okay, so I hope you're prepared for this one because I was shocked. Let's just start off with reading what he has here, is it? Every single day I'm reminded about Every single day I'm reminded how most women are nothing but gold digging, HOES. The funny thing is when I say I'm okay, so I have saved the rest for the best for last. Every single day I'm reminded how most women are nothing but gold digging, HOES. The funny thing is when I say that I am looked at as the bad guy or a woman hater, lol. Since when has it been wrong to keep it real? Okay. So this is my Monday morning rant. These tattered up chicks on Instagram look like some SHIT out of a Night and a Living Dead movie. The sad part about it is the fact that they do not look like that in person. These Instagram HOES and naturally SHITT face, SHITT body, and SHITT personality. Most of them are, of the weed man to get high, to even take them the SHTTE, ASS pictures, lol. You know these HOES cannot even buy a dime bag. When they wonder why nobody wants to wife them, do yourself a favour, look in the mirror, HOE, then check your miles. I am sure you are in need of a tune-up. Hashtag model, hashtag models, hashtag Instagram models, hashtag supermodels, hashtag Victoria's Secret models, and hashtag urban models. Okay.
Listen, miss, I don't want to go back and forth with you, but at the end of the day, if you don't want to get on the phone and have a conversation with me, just to either make peace or for us to go both our ways, I suggest you shut the fuck up, okay? God said it, shut the fuck up.
So this chick today asked me to buy her a Chanel bag. I kindly told her to go herself, respectfully. Her response was, "You want some, right?" My reply was, "Do not ever call me again, bird." This brings up a question. What is the difference between a hooker and what is that women, please break it down for me. Wow. Very mature. One thing I hate is a dirty that works at the front desk of a company. They all think they are better than people. Sad with no life. Hashtag real talk. And this coming from a 40-plus-year-old man. And we're told to keep giving him a chance and teaching him because he needs to be taught. Oh my God. This is not a 6-year-old child you need to sit down and explain the birds and the bees to.
You know what happened, dude?